Hey everyone, welcome back to Walker Farm. No, not Walker Farm fam. Welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Sorry, I
didn't even realize I was just going along with it.
I have never done that before.
Do you need your coffee?
I do, apparently. It's apparently way too early. But welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Very similar to Walker Farm fam. Minor details, minor differences.
Yeah, different.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for stopping by this morning. If you're having a cup of coffee or you're having a glass of water, whatever you're having, hopefully you're getting
Some people drink hot tea.
Yeah. But hopefully you're getting to sit down and enjoy something while you're watching this. If not, just hit pause, get up, get you something, and come back. We'll be here.
We'll be here.
I promise.
Peach pokey, owe me a Coke.
So today, as you saw on the thumbnail, I
need more coffee.
We did not get very much sleep the other night. We've got pretty good sleep since most of our kids have started sleeping all night. It's usually not an issue. And most nights, I sleep like a log. Like I am out and I am good to go for the whole night. Cassie, you sleep pretty good too, right?
Most of the time. I hear, like, it can be a big thunderstorm, might sleep through it. The tiniest weird noise, wide awake.
Yeah, every once in a while, Xena, our livestock guardian dog, has woke me up twice in the last month. Both times I brought my spotlight out there. One time the cows were real close to her pen and she was barking at them. The other time there were about 3 or 4 does that were out there, some deer, next to her pen. So she's doing her job. She woke me up, I checked it out, went back to bed. If it would have been a coyote, I could have, pulled out something else and taken care of that.
So the other morning, we were asleep and I heard a weird noise. Oh, woke up. And I felt Gary move, heard him move. I realized it woke him up too, and I said, what was that? That wasn't normal.
And I was like, no, that wasn't. It's something. And then it kept making noise. Like it
was like a loud screech, like weird, but then it like kept making little noises. So my first thought was, oh dang, today's the day we're gonna have to shoot somebody.
Well, it gets
that was my first thought.
It's really hot outside right now. So I've seen more people walking up and down the roads. We live a long ways off the road, so usually I'm not worried about it.
But there's been a lot more weird things happening to people, like things stolen, stuff broken into, whatever. We have very little problems around here, but seriously, I thought, oh dang. And so I jump up and Gary jumps up. He automatically got the pistol out, which he doesn't typically do that.
I have, honestly, the entire time that I've had a safe, because we have to have a safe that's under lock and key the whole time. So I have my little code over there that goes in, and only I can access it. So I can't think of a time in probably 5 years, 6 years, that I have ever actually drawn it to be used. Like it was ready to go to be used. Usually when we hear weird noises or we have a driveway alarm, if it goes off in the middle of the night, it's usually deer or something, and we don't really freak out. But that noise that close to our room, we both went into like protect Mama Bear, Papa Bear survival mode. Like literally there's somebody in our house or trying to get into our house. It sounded like they were in our house.
It sounded like they broke the window or was trying to break the window. So he grabs that, I grab the flashlight, and we run to the what's that called? Dining room, which is right outside our door.
Yeah, right outside our master bedroom. And did you turn the light on?
No, I had that flashlight.
Oh yeah, the flashlight. We saw out the window, and there was a little.
There was a little.
Okay. Well, I was looking for something this tall, and I looked down, so it was that tall. Ricky the raccoon was out there pawing his little claws up against our glass.
He was trying to slide the window open.
trying to get into our house.
Yeah.
And so by the time I put that up because it's a .45 caliber and hollow point, and I wasn't going to take care of Ricky with that on our front porch and wake all the kids up. But
I said, let's grab a
smaller.
We both had one, and headlamps, and we ran outside. But Ricky was gone.
Ricky took off.
And everyone's probably saying, oh, I thought you guys had livestock guardian dog. We do. She's with our goats. I thought you guys had JoJo. We do. He was sound asleep on the back porch, and this was happening on the front porch.
He was on the very back porch. I walked
outside.
I was like, Joe, you let me down.
Huh? So then he gets into survival mode, like, what's happening? So it was gone. My initial worry were the chickens. There was
the ducks.
Yeah, the ducks as well. We ran to the ducks first. We actually did run over the ducks, make sure he hadn't went over there. The chickens are a little further out. I looked in the dew of the grass, and didn't look like he had went that way. So we went back inside so that if someone did drive by, they're not like, why is there two people with headlamps out there at those people's house?
With long rifles pointing them around. So it's hard to go back to sleep.
Yes.
After that happens at 3:40 in the morning, it's really hard to go back to sleep because now you've walked around, you've got your headlamps, you're putting everything back, you're putting your lock and key.
You're still boom, 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 boom. Because really, we went into survival mode there for a second. I really thought today was the day.
I thought there was a chance we were going to make somebody's day. There's a
make my day.
Yeah, it's make my day law in Oklahoma. I thought it was going to get put into use. So thankful that it did not. I would never ever want to have to do that. But like you said, to protect your family, you do what you got to do.
Someone trying to open my window, I'm going to take care of that.
So I do feel like at the very end of the day, it was a good fire drill. We were up, we were at it, we were ready to take on whatever was there.
Half asleep, we worked as a team. I knew what he was getting, and my thought was he needs a light so he can see.
Well, and another thing that was really strange was we have a motion activated light right there outside of that window, and that light wasn't on. So when we looked out that window, we didn't expect to see anything. So I guess that the raccoon was so close and low to the ground, he didn't set off the motion activation.
Which that should have made us realize there wasn't a human out there, because they would have set off the light.
Yeah, they should have set off the light. And so,
as well as with our cameras and things, lots of things should have happened before that with our surveillance and things. And
the camera that I have on that front porch, it doesn't cover a wide enough angle, so if something comes right in next to the wall, then it didn't go off. So that raccoon, I think, followed the wall, came in.
And at the wall. So anyway,
perfect.
Now people are like, oh, if I go to their house, I'm going to stay low and go to the wall.
Crawl like a raccoon. I can crawl on that window. Maybe I can get in there. No, we're prepared. Somewhat.
Yeah, but woken up in the middle of the night, those things we weren't thinking. The driveway alarm didn't go off, or the cameras, or the motion. All we knew is something was trying to open the window. Yeah. And that was scary.
It is a bad feeling. So,
and that's really the only raccoon only the second raccoon we've seen since we've lived here in 4.5 years.
Yeah.
And both times they've been on our porch.
And Ricky Jr. didn't make it out.
The first Ricky?
Yeah.
Second Ricky, we couldn't find him.
Ricky Jr. was the younger one. He was pretty small.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he was under the van, climbed up in the engine for a while. That
was a crazy story in itself.
Yeah.
It was daylight, and Gary looked out, or one of us looked out the window, and we have cedar post, is that right? On our porch, and it had clawed to the top and hanging on for dear life. And we had Hank then, and Hank and JoJo were taking turns jumping and biting, trying to get it and barking, and they would knock it down. They would run up the next thing.
They would grab its leg and pull it down, and he would go up the next post.
They were trying so hard, and we, again, got prepared, went outside, couldn't find him anywhere. So, might as well tell the story.
You're halfway into it.
I'm almost there. I'm getting all excited. The dog, he had at some point gotten the dog's water, and there was water everywhere. So Gary's looking, can't find him. He's gotten away. And I looked under my van and there was water all under my van.
And there was tracks leading.
And then it was just gone. And I'm like, he's under my van. And Gary's like, no way. I'm like, no, I promise. So, and I'm like, and this was on a school morning. I said, if the kids and I go to leave this morning, or here in a little bit after you go to work, and this thing jumps out, I'm going to flip. So Gary gets in and he drives back and forth and like slamming on the brakes, go forward, slam, go back, slam, and it fell out and took off and the chase was on.
Yeah, me and Joe, I felt like that kid where the red fern grows when he takes off with his this is like 22 and his dog, and they're wanting to get it. That was me and Joe. We had that was our glory days.
We had
really.
Just been doing YouTube a few months at that point.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the whole time as we're running towards, he ended up in a tree where the goat pen is now. As he was running that way, I was like, this is when you should have a camera, but it's not worth it. We got to get this thing. So anyway.
So that's the most exciting thing that has happened at 3:40 in our house in a long time, to say the least. So a lot of fun though. Telling you about it.
Telling, yeah.
Because hopefully that guy stays away. Good news is our Premier One fence is doing its job, at least that day. Obviously, the ducks were right here.
Yeah, they're just right here.
The chickens were out here.
They're constantly They're so
loud.
Like, he knew they were out there, but he didn't get to them. Instead, he tried getting in our front window for some reason.
And there was corn. There was corn out there.
Yeah.
And so I have been, since then, I have been proactive about not putting out any extra dog food at nighttime. I make sure and feed Joe in the morning. He has a little bit of food in the evening, and then I put any extra food he doesn't eat back into the dog can.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, because that's the thing. You attract raccoons, and a lot of people in the city attract them because they leave out old food, scraps,
or cat
food, dog food. So hopefully Ricky the raccoon stays away. And I stole that. Let me give credit where credit is due. That's Chad from Adler Farms.
I just happened to be wearing his hat.
Yeah, wearing his hat. He named his raccoons Ricky the raccoon, and I thought that was pretty good. So
yeah, and the possums were what were the possums?
I have no idea about the possums.
Rona.
Oh.
The possums were Rona.
He comes up with, Chad's pretty quick.
Chad's really good.
Yeah, he's pretty good at coming up with that stuff. So that's our exciting story. If you saw the thumbnail, it's not clickbait. We really did have something wake us up at 3:40 in the morning, and we had to go take care of it.
I really thought, I even messaged Kevin and Rachel and Chad on a group text thing that we had like that next morning when I knew they were actually awake. I messaged them because I was still kind of amped up about it, and I was like, guys, I thought today was the day. Like, it was crazy.
Do you think you're going to meet your maker?
Not me, somebody else
not.
was. I mean, if you're that bad of a shot.
Well, I got to miss 13 times, so hopefully not. That's not the end of that story though, right?
What?
Catching up, move on to catching up?
Yes.
So, we have got a ton of stuff going on lately. Reckless Beef was finished up. You guys hopefully followed along as we did that live. That was a crazy day because our schedules got changed around a little bit. And
we were planning on drawing a little later, and then some stuff came up for Reckless and stuff for us, and so we had to end up going at 2. So it worked out. Hopefully everybody was okay with that. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so stay tuned over on Walker Farm Fam. We've got a story about the Reckless Beef and the winner and what they're doing with it. It's something really special. I think we'll be going live late this evening. So stay tuned later today on Walker Farm Fam, probably around 7 o'clock. You'll want to check that out to find out the full story of Reckless Beef.
It's pretty awesome.
Where it went to and now where it's going, because it's just pretty special. So you want to stay tuned for that.
So on past videos, we've done lots of things. The boys and Gary went metal detecting. We got a new trampoline. What else is there?
The trampoline was a lot of fun putting it together with the kids. The boxes is what they enjoyed most.
That's the 4th trampoline Gary has put together. The first one I have helped put together, and the kids, because in the past the kids have been really young, so they weren't able to help. And then Gary's dad and different people has helped in the past while I was taking care of the kids. One time though, you remember you put the trampoline together during the winter because it was a Christmas gift when we lived out at Rose.
That's really cold hands.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun doing that as a family. And the kids, I think, appreciate the trampoline more. One, that it was an amazing gift from Zoo Papa, and we truly appreciate them. But two, because they helped put that together. And so I think they've been more excited and more appreciative because it was their own hands that helped do that.
And they know it takes 3 or 4 hours, and it was about 95 degrees. Yes. And so it was a little bit of work. They are a little bit of a chore to put together, but the kids did great. They're excited. They're jumping. They're happy. Cassie's happy because it works. Like the enclosure works.
Yes. Makes me feel better that they're safe again and jumping in style. It's
a high quality one, so it's going to last for a lot of years. So we're big thanks to Zoo Papa. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Tell them on their social media. Thank you from us if you want. But other than that, the metal detectors, hopefully we get to do some more metal detecting.
Yes,
I plan on taking the boys to like a playground or something where it's easy to dig.
And you didn't mention on the video, and I may not have told you as well, when researching them and when they reached out to us, that they are waterproof. Mm-hmm. So like there's a creek, it's a creek, isn't it? That you're wanting to take them to at Pipe Springs. Mm-hmm. So it's like a spring, creek, whatever. And so you can put them down in the water if you wanted to. Yeah,
we might try that. It's an old Civil War battleground. So I don't know if I need to go by City Hall. You can do that when you pay the water bill. Say, hey, can you get if we go to the Pipe Springs? It's
like
a city
that
park.
lady's gonna know.
Well, I just ask and they'll be like, yeah, go out, go try it. If you find any cannonballs, call us so we can detonate them.
Cannonballs. I was thinking like cannonballs swimming.
In the Pipe Spring.
So lots of exciting videos. We on the metal detecting video we talked here also about our angels in our foster care journey, that they have went on to a new adventure. We still have people asking every now and then, which I know it's hard to watch every single video, but we are excited for their next journey, and we're excited for the future. For our family and for Walker Farm and what God is doing in our lives.
Yeah, we miss them dearly. And I know a lot of people say, I couldn't do that because I would just become too attached. And I think I said this at the end of one of our videos, but we become too attached. It's something that you can't not do. We do also become too attached, but at the same time, when you have to let them go, you have to. It's all you can do.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
And people ask if we're still in contact, and we are. And the part of being too attached, when I get texts about questions or what they're doing or pictures or whatever, it's real hard for me not to be like the mama still and be like, oh, they need to, or they should have, or what, And so that's hard because it's not my job anymore. That's not my story. That's not my thing. But we are able to keep in touch and have some fun pictures, and they're doing awesome.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for your prayers. I know a lot of people on this channel last time were praying for them. The transition has gone smoothly, so a praise item there. We want to say thank you though so much for the prayers for our children and for the angels, because I know that those prayers helped in that transition a lot. So that's a little bit on praying, but also on catching up as far as future videos to come out. We have a little bit of a secret that we're going to let you guys know before anybody else.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our fall break plans, and this is going to build on our 50 states in 5 years. We are going to tackle 3 more states. We are going to stay the night. Probably in New Mexico on the way out there.
We're going to drive through Texas.
Well, so we're going to stay in New Mexico on the way out there. We're going to stay in Arizona when we get there. And on the way back, we're going to stay in Albuquerque. Amarillo. So Texas. So we'll stay New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, and while we're in Arizona, we're gonna get to see
the farm on Route 66.
So I should wear their hat. Sorry, guys.
You wear it all the time.
I wear it all the time.
I just told them in their live last night. I said Gary wears your hat more than he wears ours.
I love that hat, and it's the bright green one I have. I just like the green color probably. But we are excited to see them. They do a lot of cool stuff on their channel. They have horses, and they go to different reservations in their area. They live in the middle of Arizona, which is around a lot of reservations. They get horses from Navajo and from other tribes, and they bring them back and they break them. They sell them. They trade. They do a lot of stuff with horses.
Yes, and they have goats, and they got chickens, and they raise labradoodles, I think it is, some kind of doodles, golden doodles, golden doodles, maybe. But
it's
maybe I'll bring a puppy back with me.
No puppies. We're not bringing any puppies back. I can rest assured. We will have no room for puppies. And when we go out there, their homestead is so much different than ours. Yes. So that's why I want to show you guys. Like their
we
homestead,
do the same things, but completely differently.
Well, and
like
when they talk about their landscape is just 180 degrees different.
When they talk about, it's not like irrigation, but it's something with their water, and they have.
Yeah.
It's like they flood the place.
And so we won't get to do that for a while. It'll be in October. It'll be our fall break. We're planning right now because we know hotel stays and different stuff will be booked up. So we're getting ready though for that. So that's something to look forward to in the future.
And the story of how we met the farm on Route 66 is also an awesome story in itself of this YouTube community, because they were the winners of the $100 Amazon gift card when Keeping It Dutch gave away a $100 Amazon gift card.
The first time we was on his channel.
The first time we were on his channel, he was trying to. He wanted to try to get us 5,000 new subs. We were a little over 1,000, I think, at the time.
A couple thousand, yeah. And he wanted.
Yeah, because I was like, well, maybe we can get to 2K. He's like, we can do better than that. We're going to get you 5,000 new subs. And he did, and counting, because we still get messages all the time. Dutch sent us, I want to win the Amazon card. I'm like, that was over a year ago. But they were the winners of that. And then they re-gifted it and gave it away and wanted to bless someone with that. And ever since then, we have formed a relationship and a bond. And they have amazing, sweet, godly hearts, and we have just enjoyed getting to know them through YouTube and messaging each other back and forth. So it's going to be one of those things, just like the other people that we have got to meet, that it's going to be like going and seeing old friends when we've never really met in real life.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Watch one video and you'll know they're genuinely good people.
Yeah, it's never, when she messages me, it's never about them and success and all that. It's generally about wanting to know more about our family, or loving on our family, or just questions and helping each other.
And they loved on our kids. They sent them a lot of really cool stuff. We'll go on and on, but really we just wanted to let you guys know that that's in our future plans. You got to hear it first because you subscribe to Catching Up with the Walkers.
Even though Gary don't know what this channel's called sometimes. Nor do I.
You can't. It's the caffeine, caffeine's something that'll help you through your day.
It is.
So we're going to get started on with our day. So we want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to spend a little time with us to get your day started. And anything else?
Please, if you have any prayer requests, drop them down below. And as always, you guys read through those, encourage one another, pray for one another. I know there's probably something we're supposed to be mentioning. I can't think of it right now.
You can't think of it right now.
I can't. But we do get your messages and your comments and things. We read those, and we're praying with you as you're praying with us. We just pray for everyone right now with their safety, and no matter what they're doing. It's almost time for school to start up again. I actually saw a friend of mine's little boy started today, and I was like, whoa, it shouldn't be school time.
Yeah, people in the east, I think over in Nashville.
It was in the Georgia area.
They're going back to school already, so it won't be long, and our kids will be back to school. That means I'm
back to school.
I'm good with that.
So we're praying as your summer winds down, as your kids go back to school, that they would just have a blessed and amazing year, that your school would be greatly blessed, that they can have the most normal year yet, and they would be safe and happy and healthy. And we just pray you guys have a great day, a great week. Thank you so much for watching us and supporting us. We love you guys, and God bless.